So what does it actually mean to remember something? I mean, is it like playing back a video, perfect recall? Or is it something else, maybe fuzzier?
Yeah, like a feeling, maybe.
Yeah.
Or even a smell that just hits you and bang, you're somewhere else entirely.
Exactly. And how much of who we are is tied up in these little moments, these things we barely notice at the time until, something just clicks them back into place. Well, today we're diving deep into a work of literature that's so huge, so influential, it might just change how you think about memory and time itself, really.
It's a big one.
Welcome to the deep dive. We take piles of information, reviews, summaries, and boil it all down for you. Our mission today, to tackle Marcel Proust's In Search of Lost Time, or À la recherche du temps perdu, if we're using the French.
Quite a title.
It is. We're aiming to give you the essential insights into why this massive novel, we're talking 4,000 pages, 1.2 million words, published way back between 1913 and 1927, is still considered, well, one of the absolute greats.
Maybe the greatest for some.
Right. It's this unique mix of modernism, autobiography, just incredible psychological depth. Okay, let's get into it.
Well, the first thing that hits you, and our sources really hammer this home, is the scale.
Yeah.
It's just monumental.
Yeah, 4,000 pages, 7 volumes, 1.2 million words. It's hard to even picture.
It really is. But it's more than just long, right? The sources call it an experience, something that didn't just tell a story. It fundamentally changed what literature could do.
An experience, yeah, I like that. Like signing up for a mental marathon, maybe? And the core themes, wow. Memory, time, art, society, who we even are. How does he pull all that together?
Well, that's the thing. Our sources are clear. There isn't really a conventional plot. No, A leads to B leads to C in the usual sense.
Okay, so what is it then?
It loosely follows this unnamed narrator. Everyone pretty much agrees it's Proust's alter ego reflecting on his life, but meticulously.
Meticulously.
Oh, yeah. It's part philosophical journey, part memoir almost. And through his eyes, we see this whole world, the kind of twilight of the French aristocracy, the beginnings of modernity. It's all in there.
And this narrator's life, it unfolds through these incredibly vivid settings, right? Like his childhood in Cambrai.
Yes, Cambrai is central, especially early on. And his relationship with his mother, which is complex and deeply felt.
Then he moves into the world of Parisian high society, the salons.
Exactly. The glittering, sometimes quite cutting world of the salons.
Yeah.
And his relationships, his intense, often obsessive loves for characters like Gilbert and especially Albertine.
And the key seems to be this intense introspection, like he's putting every feeling, every thought under a microscope.
That's a perfect way to put it. Relentless introspection. It's like he's trying to capture the very texture of consciousness.
Which brings us to maybe the most famous bit, the Madeleine.
Ah, yes. The Madeleine episode. It comes relatively early, but it's sort of the key that unlocks so much of the novel's philosophy.
So what happens? He just eats a cake.
Pretty much. He takes a little Madeleine cake dipped in tea, and this simple taste, this sensory input.
It just triggers something.
Bingo. It involuntarily triggers this incredibly vivid, complete memory from his childhood in Cambrai. It just rushes back, not as a thought, but as a full-blown experience. He's there again.
Wow. Not like trying to remember. It just happens.
Precisely. And Proust calls this involuntary memory. It becomes this central idea, a way to bypass ordinary linear time. It's like finding these hidden doors to the past.
That's fascinating. It makes you think, doesn't it, about your own Madeleine moments.
Exactly. We all have them, right? That song on the radio, a certain smell.
Yeah.
Things that just unexpectedly zap you back. Proust really explores the power of those moments.
So this huge story unfolds across 7 volumes. Can you give us a quick sort of roadmap?
Sure. It helps to have a bit of structure in mind. Volume 1, Swann's Way, sets the scene. Childhood in Cambrai, the Madeleine, obviously. And it also tells the story of Charles Swann's rather tragic love for Odette.
Okay.
Then, In the Shadow of Young Girls in Flower, that covers the narrator's adolescence, first loves, getting his footing in Parisian society, sometimes awkwardly.
Right, growing up.
Volume 3, The Gourmand's Way, dives deep into the aristocracy, the social climbing, the snobbery, the hidden rules. The narrator's kind of fascinated, but also starts seeing through it.
Seeing the cracks in the facade.
You got it. Then Sodom and Gomorrah. This one was quite controversial, very ahead of its time in dealing, frankly, with homosexuality and hidden lives.
Then it gets more personal again, with Albertine.
Yes.
Well.
The prisoner focuses heavily on his relationship with Albertine. It's intense, possessive, almost claustrophobic. He tries to control her, keep her with him.
It's difficult.
It is. And it leads into The Fugitive, where Albertine leaves and later dies. So it deals with loss, grief, detachment.
And the final volume pulls it all together.
Time regained. That's the culmination. After years of reflection, social life, love, loss, the narrator finally understands how he can use art, use writing to capture these fleeting moments, these memories, and essentially regain time by giving it lasting form.
Wow. So it's really a journey towards understanding the meaning of his own life and how to express it.
Exactly. Deep introspection leading to an artistic epiphany.
So let's talk about the big ideas, the core themes that keep coming up. Memory and time, obviously central.
Absolutely. That idea of involuntary memory being the key to a richer experience of the past, maybe even overcoming time's destructive flow, it asks, can we truly get time back?
And his answer seems to be through art.
That's a huge part of it. Proust deeply believed that art, especially writing, was the only way to really preserve life, to give meaning to moments that would otherwise just vanish.
What about love? You mentioned obsession.
Oh, love and jealousy are major themes. And Proust is unflinching. The narrator's relationships are often consumed by jealousy, possessiveness, the inability to truly know the other person. It's quite brutal in its honesty.
And it's not just personal, right? There's a social dimension.
Definitely. Social change is crucial. You see the decline of the old aristocracy, the rise of the middle class, the shifting values in early 20th century France. It's a snapshot of an era in flux.
Which leads to questions about identity, I suppose.
Exactly. Who is the narrator? He's constantly changing, reflecting, questioning. Proust challenges that idea of a single, stable self. Our sources really emphasize how these themes, love, society, self, still resonate so strongly today. They offer real insights into our own lives.
Now the style. People always mention the sentences.
Yes. Proust's style is legendary.
Yeah.
Famously long sentences, winding, full of clauses, metaphors, philosophical side notes. They can go on for pages.
Pages. Really?
Literally pages sometimes. It's very characteristic of modernist writing, focusing on the flow of thought, the inner experience, rather than just external action.
Sounds like hard work for the reader.
It can be, no doubt. It demands attention. But the sources agree, it's incredibly rewarding. Someone described it as each sentence a finely crafted mirror reflecting the emotional truth beneath the surface. It's built to capture complexity.
It's like he's trying to map consciousness itself onto the page.
That's a great way to think about it. It can create this immersive, almost hypnotic effect. You get lost in the narrator's mind.
There's that famous quote, too, right, about the voyage of discovery.
Oh, yes, absolutely core to understanding him. The real voyage of discovery consists not in seeking new landscapes, but in having new eyes.
I love that. So reading Proust isn't just about the story, it's about learning to see differently.
Precisely. The style isn't just fancy writing, it's functional. It's designed to make you experience the world, memory, and thought in a new, richer way. It offers you those new eyes.
So pulling back a bit, why does this massive, complex work still matter so much? What's its legacy?
Well, first, its literary innovation was just immense. Proust really did change the novel. He pushed boundaries in narrative structure, psychological depth. He paved the way for writers like Virginia Woolf, James Joyce, Samuel Beckett. They all owe him a debt.
He sort of opened up the inner world as territory for the novel.
Absolutely. And his psychological insights were profound. His understanding of memory, time, emotion, it feels incredibly modern. It anticipated ideas that psychologists and philosophers would explore later.
And it still speaks to us now, despite being a century old.
I think so, yes. It endures because it's such a powerful exploration of the inner life. It reminds us that meaning and beauty can be found in ordinary moments, if we pay attention. Reading Proust isn't just academic. It gives you tools for understanding consciousness itself.
Okay, so who should actually take this on? Who is this book for?
Good question. Our sources suggest it's ideal for readers who enjoy, maybe even crave, deep introspection. People interested in philosophy, psychology, how memory works.
And maybe history buffs, early 20th century France.
Definitely. Anyone curious about that period, about modernism as a movement. Basically, if you're interested in the power of the inner life, this is kind of the ultimate exploration.
But we need to be upfront about the challenges, right?
Oh, absolutely. Let's be real. It's slow. The prose is dense. It demands patience, stamina. It is not a quick read you toss in your beach bag.
So what's the advice? How do you tackle it?
Gradually. The consensus seems to be, don't try to race through it. Take it volume by volume. Maybe even, as one source said, paragraph by paragraph. Savor it, let it unfold.
Like a long, complex meal you said earlier.
Exactly. It requires commitment. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
But the potential reward is huge.
Yeah.
It can be genuinely transformative, offering insights you just won't find anywhere else. It might actually change how you think about your own life and memories.
So the final verdict from our sources seems pretty clear. In Search of Lost Time is, well, it's more than a book.
Yeah, it's an experience
Wow.
that keeps coming up. Meditative, immersive, ultimately transformative. A deep dive into memory, time, and what it means to be human.
And it leaves us with a powerful thought, doesn't it? If Proust is right, if art is how we give meaning to these fleeting moments.
Then maybe just the act of reflecting on our own memories, even those random, involuntary ones that pop up, maybe that's a kind of art in itself.
Like we're all composing our own story, our own evolving narrative, just by paying attention to our inner lives, like Proust did.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What might time regained look like for you in your own life? What memories are waiting to be rediscovered?